All right, so for today's video, I want to talk about something that I've been noticing in the Tesla space, in the EV space, that is making me feel like there's a transition happening specifically as it relates to Tesla and how they are allowing themselves to be seen by the public. I want to start by showing you a couple videos that have been released in the last couple of weeks here. The most recent one is this review of the Tesla Model 3 refresh by Doug DeMuro, who is a very famous, very big car reviewer. He has about 4.8 million subscribers. Here he is reviewing the newest Tesla Model 3. And in this video, he calls that car the greatest appliance ever made. Now, what's interesting about that comment, which made some people upset, I don't know why. I think it was said in a very complimentary manner. The reason why I think that's very interesting is that now we have reviewers coming out that are essentially saying Tesla's products are becoming not just pretty affordable, very affordable. In that same video, Doug said that Tesla Model 3, the refresh, is one of the cheapest EVs you can buy, one of the most affordable cars you can own, period. But it's also the best product to get you from point A to point B. Essentially saying that Tesla in particular has a product that fits the needs of really most people as it pertains to transportation, not just from a feature set perspective, but especially from a cost perspective. Then there's another video that was released by another very big, very famous YouTuber. This is from Autofocus. This is MKBHD's auto review channel. And here, when he reviewed the Tesla Model 3, he called it the perfect starter EV. Along the same lines of, this thing might not have the greatest driving dynamics, but it's super, super good at taking you from point A to point B at a very affordable rate, to the point where it's, at cost parity, let's say, with a gas car that's especially in the same class. I would argue this car is probably a lot cheaper. Now, what I also think is super interesting about this is that, coming from reviewers like Doug, like Marquez, when they view these cars through the lens of, say, car enthusiasts, when I hear comments like, it's not super fun to drive, it's not, the most inspiring drive, if you compare it to, say, performance vehicles that are, especially gas car performance vehicles that are meant to go around the track, that are meant to elicit a certain response from the driver with the noise, with the vibrations, with the gear shifts, I think this car, when viewed through that lens, is 100% accurate. It's not going to have nearly the same driving dynamics that those cars would, like a GT3 RS, like a 911. But what's really interesting is that now Tesla has figured out how to bring the driving dynamic of an electric vehicle, which still a gigantic amount of people haven't been exposed to the masses. So that 0 to 60 acceleration of 4 seconds, the very low center of gravity, which is going to allow you to hug corners and have a really interesting dynamic when you're going around a turn. Instead of feeling like you're being thrown around, it's freaking like a train on its railroad tracks. It's just going right around those corners with zero effort. It's still very rare for the common driver, for people that are just driving their Honda Civics and their Accords and their Camrys and their Kia Souls and, their BMWs to a certain extent as well, even though they have really good driving dynamics. You're not going to get the type of acceleration an electric vehicle can give you, especially a Tesla with its drivetrain. So now we can see that the company is really starting to go through this transition of what has typically been seen as a luxury EV maker to now a every person car. And you can see this even more plainly if you look at how Tesla interacted with that review. I made a post on X highlighting that review from Doug, and then Tesla jumped on that same post. They quote posted it, not quote tweeted. Don't you dare say tweet. And Tesla said, and you can get it from $38,990 or $329 a month with $2,900 down. Now, again, this is yet more proof that Tesla is looking to change course from a luxury automaker to a affordable car maker, not even an EV maker, an affordable car maker. If you go to Tesla's website and you go to the very first thing that they put on in front of your face, Model Y starting at $36,490 after federal tax credit. Boom. Another message that goes to the buyer that says, yo, we're coming at you with price. We're not coming at you with feature set necessarily, even though I would argue Tesla probably has the best bang for your buck from a feature set perspective. And I think people like Doug and Marquez would agree. The headline is price. The first thing they're trying to tell you is like, yo, price. Same exact timeline in the last couple of weeks. This is actually from yesterday. Elon Musk himself on X Model 3 is more affordable than most people realize. Again, this messaging of price. And of course, the reason why I bring this up is I think now we're at a point of transition where, with the advent of a compact car that's set to be released in the next 12 to 24 months, I think Tesla's going through an exercise to try and train the clientele, the customer base that's out there for electric vehicles or just vehicles in period, that Tesla shouldn't really be viewed through a lens of, let's say, hardcore luxury, or, oh my goodness, that's a $100,000 car I'm only going to be able to afford if I take out a mortgage against my house, and what am I going to get with that? I think Tesla's value proposition now, it truly is becoming, you're going to get something that is way better than whatever you have because of the electric drivetrain. It's just going to be smoother, more responsive. The 0 to 60 is insane. Lower center of gravity, better safety. Then as Tesla, we're going to give you crazy infotainment. We're going to give you a crazy sound system. We're going to give you an app that works excellently. We're going to give you this entire ecosystem that you're going to be able to live with, that's going to hook up to your solar panels and your batteries. And then with the advent of autonomy, then you add another layer there with FSD V12. Once that goes mass and everyone's car all of a sudden turns into something that it can drive itself, it's getting really crazy. So now I believe this is probably going to be Tesla's most powerful transition, that goes from startup automaker that cost a lot of money and people view through that lens, to the every person car. The car that if you have a good job, a good enough job, you'll be able to afford a Model 3. And if you just need a point A to point B transportation and you want a new car, then with the compact car, my thought is Tesla's going to be like, just buy this thing to give you the cheapest cost per mile you can possibly find on the market, especially from a new car. And it really depends on how Tesla's choosing to message this to the public, right? We hear a lot of people saying, educate the public. The public doesn't know this. The public doesn't know this. I kind of agree now. To create awareness, probably not a bad idea to do something from an education perspective. I don't think it necessarily means like, put an ad on every TV channel that you can find. Some people might argue that's a good way of doing it, but there's got to be different ways to make people aware that it's cheap. And maybe this is one of those ways, have these kind of posts on social media, do interviews with people with the Gigafactory Texas in the background and drop the nugget that says, hey, Teslas are pretty cheap. Did you know? So very interesting to see how this goes. This is only going to go into overdrive with the compact car, I believe, here in the next 12 to 24 months. As Cybertruck ramps up and the prices come down for that as well, then you'll have these crazy looking triangles that look like a fridge that you'll be able to buy at basically the same price as an F-150 with the same exact feature set. But instead you get a very, very, very premium, super crazy looking thing. Curious to see how many people are going to take that on. But yeah, very interesting time to follow the EV space and Tesla. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you want to support the channel, links in the description below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.